All right, our second presenter is going to be from EcoLong. EcoLong is a high-tech venture in environmental science and renewable energy based in Albany. Presenting today will be founder Nancy Min.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How are you guys doing? I just want to say that this is honestly one of the most exciting events that I've been to in a while. Weather is a point of passion for me, so this is a wonderful opportunity, I think, to express that and also engage with all the leaders in the weather industry. So thank you guys all for coming here today. So my name is Nancy Min, as Harriet had introduced. I am the co-founder and CEO of EcoLong. We're an environmental and renewable energy company based over here in Albany. And kind of pointing back to my passion, at EcoLong, our mission is to make the unpredictable predictable. So we started EcoLong back in 2015. And at that point, SUNY Albany was looking to commercialize a technology. And we've spent the past 2 years developing applications in weather to improve weather monitoring and forecasting, solar energy, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about, some of the new growing trends in there, to do solar farm monitoring and control, and as well as air quality for air quality monitoring and forecasting, and then also what our topic today is, and transportation, for road condition monitoring. So I want to kind of ask you guys a question. So with a raise of your hand, have you guys ever driven in something like this? Okay, awesome. So do you guys know where this was taken?
Northway.
Actually, this was taken in Beijing, China. I was there actually a couple months ago, and I actually experienced this, where I had to cover my mouth and my nose due to the air pollution. It was just that bad. So this is something that so one of the issues in this is visibility, right? You cannot drive in something that is so heavily polluted. You can barely see your fingers, your hand in front of your face. So I got another question for you guys. Sorry. Having some technical difficulties. We're from upstate New York. Come on. You guys have seen this, right? Awesome. I've actually recently experienced an experience where I was driving in the snow and my car slid and I did a 360 turn. So that's something that we all experience in upstate New York. So Jan had mentioned earlier Tesla, Elon Musk, right? You guys have all heard of the electric cars, right? Everyone, did you guys put down your sign-up initial cost for that Model 3? Yeah? So this actually is a pretty interesting car. This is the Toyota Prius Prime that actually has solar panel on the top of the car. So they actually don't sell this in the United States. They sell it only in Japan, but it's a concept vehicle that they're looking to expand across the world. So it's pretty interesting. And I'm sure you guys have seen these, right? EV charging stations powered by solar power. Yeah? Okay, so let's get into the technology a little bit. So in 2014, the Department of Homeland Security and FEMA decided to build the New York State Mesonet. And Jerry, all power to you. As part of that commercialization and development, there was a huge data set that they were looking for in solar radiation and cloud monitoring. And so as part of that mission to develop a technology that would fill that data gap, they developed the Sky Imager Radiometer. Sky Imager Radiometer measures spectral and angular solar radiation, cloud motion, and cloud distribution. So we can track clouds. So what does that mean in terms of our applications? I just mentioned that we do weather, air quality, solar energy, and transportation. So by simultaneously measuring solar radiation and cloud, so if you look at some of the data that we've captured, It's a running globe. By the way, this is not the globe. This is the sky. It does look very three-dimensional. We can derive a lot of the important parameters that go into weather prediction, that goes into air quality monitoring, that goes into road hazardous condition monitoring, as well as in solar energy. Back to this. Awesome. So using our data, we're able to derive aerosol and cloud optical property. So for example, here in our chart, we have the aerosol optical depth, which provides aerosol loading, which is also the amount of aerosols in the atmosphere. On the right side of the graph, we have the Angstrom coefficient. So what that does is it indicates particle size information. So using those two things, we're able to see the visibility. So what is visibility? So using the particle size information and optical depth information in the graph before, we're able to derive the particulate matter in a particular region. So that doesn't say anything about how we use it. So using dispersion modeling, we can show the aerosol plume to predict air pollution episode over a time horizon. So if you see right here that line, that's the line of trajectory. And then if you see the kind of the shaded area, that means where it's going to disperse, pattern. So kind of talks a little bit about our visibility and our applications there. But as we talk about the future, we looked at electricity cars, and we also looked at solar energy. So how does that apply? So renewable energy has a significant impact on the future of ground transportation. Our technology accurately measures, like I mentioned before, solar radiation, cloud distribution, and we can predict solar energy production using that. So with this information of monitoring and predicting, we can optimize and manage solar energy generation systems. Through optimized management of solar energy generation systems, we can improve the stability of the electric grid. Kind of interesting. And then in addition to that, we can enhance the return on investment for solar owners, and we can enable more photovoltaic self-consumption. So in the case of EV charging stations that are powered by solar panels, we can allow you to use and fully utilize that and optimize how you manage that process so that you can use more renewable energy. Okay, so the sky imagery radiometer has been deployed across New York State. Actually, I was going to change this slide, but so these are the current deployments of the sky imagery radiometer across onto the New York State Mesonet sites across New York State. So as of today, we've deployed about 13 of them. In total, there will be about 17, and we'll work with Jerry on that process. But they're using the sky imagery radiometer to improve weather prediction. And so we'll go back to that slide before to see this is what it looks like on a site. So if you look here on the tower, on the top of the tower, that is the sky imagery radiometer. And if you guys are interested in seeing a close-up, we have the sky imagery radiometer sitting on a table right outside. And in terms of our team, we're a team with over 30 years of experience in research and development in the areas of atmospheric sciences and meteorology. Personally, I have experience in the renewable energy space back when I was in school, and then also worked in IT consulting over at Deloitte Consulting in my spare time. Today we actually have here a couple MBA students that have been working with EcoLong on helping us with the commercialization process. So I just want to give a quick shout out to them for their hard work that they've been putting in. And we also have a photo of some of our other team members as well. So they couldn't make it, unfortunately, so we want to give them a shout out as well. Thank you, guys. Any questions?
I'll have a question. So, Will, you had talked about using prediction for the solar developers. What are some of the problems that solar developers have today then, that you'll be solving?
Yep. So solar energy is fairly variable and intermittent. So if you guys can imagine a big, large solar farm, and then clouds roll through, and suddenly there's a huge drop in the production because you're blocking the source of energy. So one of the main things associated with that is how do we maintain stable grid operations, given that it's very variable and intermittent. In the United States, we have a very ambitious target to be to have 14% of energy demands to be met through solar. So that's a wonderful indication of the importance of renewable energy, but at the same simultaneously, we want to be sure that we don't experience any blackouts. So forecasting provides the ability for us to kind of see a little bit in the future, to see what is going to be the expected production of solar energy, and then that way we can mitigate and optimize how the grid operates. So that has a lot of use cases in the near future.
We'd be optimizing the grid to manage the energy throughput.
Exactly.
Is your system, have you used it for air quality predictions or getting it to predicting a 2.5 particulate matter for helping local government, state officials put out air quality alerts and warnings?
Absolutely. If you look at, so if I go back to that chart, that was actually some analysis we did about 2 days ago.
Okay.
So this is kind of live, data that we're capturing and some of the data assimilations and processing that we go through to be able to visualize it.
Are you actually integrating with the human data simulation? Could you do that into like ChemWalk or anything like that?
So, not quite sure about that.
Prediction model used for chemical dispersion in the government. They
Okay.
use that for air quality predictions. So data simulation means this data in a state that could easily be integrated into the initial conditions to help feed that model.
Absolutely. So the Scratch radiometer, we developed it to be a very smart system. And what we mean by smart is that we have onboard processing capabilities. So that way we can kind of generate and churn the data within the instrument itself, and then that way you have a more actionable, post-processed data.
Post-process, okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
All right.
All right. Thank you so much.